Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Coming to you live from the she shed. I know you guys have been asking about it. This is some of the materials that we need to finish. We're going to insulate the whole thing and get beadboard up, and I've got a lot going on. So I wanted to show you guys it real quick. It's gorgeous. There's a loft. We're gonna put another loft up here. But anyway, in today's video, I have for you some Cricut DIYs. So I wanted to bring you guys some holiday Cricut inspiration. I know a lot of you guys have been asking if I can do a Cricut video. So this one's for you guys. So let's not waste any more time. Let's jump right into today's DIYs. And I'm gonna show you guys how to use your Cricut to make Christmas DIYs. So let's jump right in. Okay guys, first I want to thank Cricut for sponsoring today's video. So I have the Cricut Explore Air 2 here, and it cuts over 100 materials like cardstock and vinyl to iron-on and specialty materials. And the Cricut Explore Air 2 cuts and writes up to 2 times faster with fast mode, and it has a smart set dial so that you guys can set the material you're using, or you can set to custom and then just choose which material you're using in design space. It has a few storage compartments, so that's really cool, so you can retrieve your tools quickly and easily while you're working. So there's so many reasons to love Cricut, so get one today by clicking the link in the description box, as well as all the materials I'm using in this video will be linked as well. Thank you Cricut for sponsoring this video. So I want to start off by just prepping one of my boards like I always do. I cut the tag off. I got the tag from the back off. I sanded it down and then I painted it white. So I just set that aside, and then originally I was going to use this burlap bag that actually my Easy Press came in. If you don't know what an Easy Press is, it is the little iron I'm going to be using. But I didn't end up using this one just because I ran out of time. But basically I just start by measuring all my projects that I'm going to be using, and then I write down the sizes so that way when we go into design space, then I have all my measurements ready to go. So once I'm done measuring, I like to go in and do all my designs first, and then once I have all my designs saved, then all I have to do is just go in, click on it, hit make it, and then print them all out or cut them all out at the same time. So I knew that I wanted to do a little tray for Santa. Every year we put out cookies and milk, and it's coming to that time again. I can't believe it, you guys. It's like crazy that it's already the middle of November. It just blows my mind how fast time goes. But anyway, when you get into design space, you are going to make a shape of, like if you're doing a round project, then you want to make a circle, or you know, for this I was doing a rectangular, so I just put a square out there, and then in the top I switch the measurements to what my piece is supposed to be. I then open my project, or we open our project first, and then I put a shape. Once I have the shape the size that I need, then I size my project down to that. I fit it into the box, and then for this project I needed to add the kids' names, so I did just click the text box, I typed their names in, and then I switched to the font that I wanted. Defont.com has a lot of good fonts, but if you get the Cricut membership, it comes with so many fonts, so many different pictures, so it's definitely worth having. But anyway, so I just go over my lettering, and then I go down and I hit unlock. That way the letters are separated, and then I just move them closer together, because sometimes when you use certain fonts, the letters aren't all one cut and then they're separated, so to get them to be one cut you just have to unlock them and then move them together. So I saved that project and then I moved on to our next design. So I just typed in farmhouse Christmas because I knew that I wanted something farmhouse yet Christmassy. So like I said, Design Space has a bunch of different images, so I just went through and I found these Christmas trees. I inserted the image after I made my shape once again. I sized that down. I then once again typed in you pick. I found the font that I wanted. Again, sized that and fit it in my circle. And then I typed in 2020. You go up at the top, and I wanted this on a curve so that it would fit nicely. So I just hit the curve button, and then you can adjust it as not curved or as curved as you like. And then once again, I fit it right into my circle. Once I had it the way I liked, then I just deleted the circle. I selected the entire thing and then I hit weld, and once again I saved it. So I am not going to bore you with any more of those, but I did want to show you that designbundles.net has a bunch of great images, and you can either print them out or put them into Design Space. It's totally up to you, and they're really affordable, so I definitely recommend it. I believe I got this Christmas bundle for around $3. Actually, you know what? Matter of fact, I got it from once a month. Designbundles.net have this promotion where they sell a bunch of bundles for $1 a piece. So it's always at the end of the month. I can't remember exactly what day it is, but that's a really good deal. Some of their bundles are like, you know, $15 and that day only, and it's only for 1 hour from 12 to 1 on that day that they sell it for $1. So anyway, I just did the same exact thing that I explained before, and then I saved that as well. Okay, now on to my favorite part, is watching this thing go. To see the way that it cuts is just totally amazing. My daughter loves to hit the buttons, so they flash and let you know like which button to press, so she loves that. But anyway, if you guys are enjoying this content and you're not already subscribed, I would love it if you would become part of my family by clicking that red subscribe button, and then you want to tap the bell and all to be notified every single time I upload. And don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoy it. So once I have all my things cut out, then I do just weed it out. So sometimes I weed right on this mat and sometimes I don't. I guess I forgot to mention that you have to put your vinyl on the mat and then insert it into the machine. Once it's done cutting, then I just go ahead and weed that out. Sometimes the letters want to stick to the vinyl that you're weeding, so while you're pulling it up, you just want to make sure that all your letters are staying down. I pulled up the baby's name without even realizing it, so I did just go ahead and draw that in, because you can go back in, print that out and add it, but I was in a time crunch, so I got a zillion things going on, you guys. I got the laundry room going and then stuff with my shed and stuff with the kids, so it's always a busy time over here. But anyway, once I had that all weeded out, then I just take my transfer tape from CRICUT, and I started with one side, and then you kind of just use it or put it over your design like you're using contact paper. You just start with one side and then lay it down and then pull the backing off as you go while you're pressing down with your squeegee tool. So anyway, once you have your transfer tape over your design, then you just want to pull it up, and again you have to make sure that your design is coming up with the transfer tape, and if not, then just varnish it back down and then pull again. So when you're pulling the transfer tape off, you definitely want to pull it kind of flat with the other side, if that makes sense. And then once I have it all transferred on, I love the way this turned out. It's so cute. But as usual, y'all know what's up. I take my chip brush and some ink Waverly chalk paint, and I just go around the edges of this tray. And then I did have these handles left over from when we redid our kitchen, so I just hot glued them on. I'm not really going to be handling it like that, so hot glue would do just fine. I use the Gorilla Glue hot glue, so unless it's like plastic or something, this stuff holds to everything. But I was going to stop there, and I did just put this aside, but in the end you'll see that I do end up going in with some watercolor and giving it some color. I thought that it was just missing something, but so for the girls' shirts, I didn't show this in Design Space because I literally just typed letters in and added an arrow. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I did use this glitter heat transfer vinyl, and I love this stuff, you guys. I asked my daughter what color shirts that she wanted for her and her sister, and of course a girl after my own heart said pink. Love that so much, you guys. Pink is my favorite color, just a little FYI, but anyway, once I had my design cut out and I weeded it, then I lay it down on the shirt. I take my Cricut Easy Press, I set it to 320, and then I hold it down. So, and then I pull the paper back. Well, here I made a mistake, and I just wanted to show you guys that it is totally okay to make mistakes. I pulled it up, or I took the arrow off and I repositioned it because it was crooked and it was driving me nuts. So when I repositioned it, I put it on backwards, so it heated up to the backing that was on there. So I just wanted to show you guys that it is okay to make mistakes. I just printed a new arrow out and put it on there. It was no big deal, but anyway, it is literally that quick and easy to make custom shirts. So moving on to the next project, I'm going to use these infusible ink pens. So you just put a piece of computer paper on your mat, you stick your marker into the machine, it shows you exactly how to do it, and then once it's done writing, then you just cut your little writing out, and you want to make sure that you mirror your image for the infusible ink because you're going to lay it flat onto whatever you're using. So I have these infusible ink coasters, but I did make ornaments out of these. So they sell square ones, they sell round ones, so I was excited to use the round ones for some ornaments. So once you have it printed out, then you lay it down, you use a piece of butcher paper, and then you use your easy press. Make sure you don't touch it until it's completely cooled down or you will burn yourself. And then the infusible ink is so cool because you get such vibrant colors. So here I'm using the infusible ink sheets. So I just had this kind of like ombre effect greenish color, and I just loved it so much, so I printed off a little design, and this is the one that we did the Christmas trees you picked with the 2020 at the bottom. So when you're using the infusible ink transfer sheets, you want to kind of roll it in your hand and make that design like crack away from the paper. That's the only way I can explain it, because when you're doing it you'll hear little cracks because this is such different paper from the rest of, you know, the vinyl and stuff. So once you have it weeded, then once again you lay it face down, you use your butcher paper, set your easy press or your iron to the easy press, I set it to 380, I believe. And then once again here, you guys, I am being so impatient, I could not wait to look at it. So it wasn't very hot, but Anyway, look how beautiful this is. That infusible ink is just way too cool. It literally infuses into whatever you're using. So when you touch it, it is not like raised up or anything. So that's what I love about the infusible ink. It's literally so cool to work with. But anyway, moving on to our last and final project. This was a one that was not planned, but I took a tag from Dollar Tree and I made a design in Cricut Design Space. It has this design. So once I printed it or cut it out, then I weighted it and then took my transfer tape, and then of course I went over it. I varnished it while I pulled it away from the backing, and then once I did that, I took this scrapbook paper and I just ran my fingers along the edges so that way I knew where to cut it. I cut it out, and then I also did the same for the top piece because this piece of scrapbook paper was just not quite big enough to fit the entire tag. It's kind of like a taller tag, taller and skinnier. That's the way I kind of explain it. So I just did the exact same thing. I laid it on there. I just went over it with my fingers so that I could see the outline. Here we are again, 1:30 in the morning. Melissa's tripping over her words. She don't know what to say because she's tired. Anyway, cut it out. I used a glue stick as usual to glue that down to our tag, and then I took my transfer tape or our image on the transfer tape. I laid it on there, and then look how cute this is, you guys. I'm so excited for the way that it turns out. But I just take my squeegee tool and I go over it really, really well just to make sure that it is sticking nicely to our sign. And then I just start with one corner. I pull it back to make sure that our design is sticking to our project. And then once again, I just pull back and I flip it like almost flat with the other side. Like I said before, you can see what I'm doing here. It just stays much better when you do it like this. If you try to pull it on like an angle, it kind of wants to pull up on you. So I definitely recommend doing it this way. So last but not least, once I had it all on there, and I'm so excited with the way it turned out, I made two simple bows, one just a burlap bow and then one in a red and black buffalo check. I did want to use the red and black buffalo check, but I knew that I couldn't put it right on the sign because it would clash or you really wouldn't be able to see it. So I think this burlap adds just like the perfect touch to it to have such a gorgeous farmhouse Christmas sign. So I just glued them together, glued that to the top of our sign, and then that was it for that sign. It's literally so easy to use your Cricut. And if you guys don't have one and you're thinking of one, I'll have a link down below, or you could add it to your Christmas list. It's definitely a fun thing to have in your craft stash. I like to have all kinds of different things so that I can choose what I want to use, what day, how I'm feeling. If I don't really feel like using my graphite paper, then I can use my Cricut. Or if I don't want to use my Cricut, you guys get what I'm saying. But I know that not everybody can afford one, and that's why I bring you guys content that you can use without a Cricut. But I have been getting questions of people who do have a Cricut who wanted a video. So if you don't have a Cricut, don't feel bad. I did not have one for a very long time. I just got mine. So anyway, I was talking through that whole thing. I just glued some burlap or some twine to the back of these coasters, turned into Christmas ornaments. For the green one, I added little mini bows to the top, and then for the fresh cut Christmas trees, I added this black and white ribbon. I did just make very simple bows. I can link my bow trick in the cards in the right hand corner, and then that was it for those. Look how cute these turned out, and they were literally so quick and easy to make. So onto this tray. I don't know why I said last but not least a while ago. Now we're at last but not least. So like I said, I wasn't going to do anything to this, and you could very well use vinyl for this. So you can cut the carrots out separate, and you can cut everything out separate if you want to do different colors. But in my head, I had a vision of it just being black and white. And then once I looked at it when it was done, I knew that I wanted to add a little bit of color, so I did just take my watercolors and my watercolor pen, and I started with orange, and then I took a little bit of, I think it's called burnt sienna, and I just kind of shaded that to give it some dimension. And then I used that same brown burnt sienna, and I did the stems brown first and then some green just to give it a little bit of contrast. And I like to mix colors because I just like the way that it looks. It gives it a more realistic look than just like one solid color. But anyway, these little watercolor pens are so fun to use, and they're so easy. But anyway, so then once I had the carrots done, then I did go into where the cookies are supposed to go, and I just colored them like a very, very light brown, and then I put some chocolate chips in there with some black. And then that literally was it for this project, you guys. I think it's so nice to have a Cricut if you can afford one, but I know that, like I said, I know that not everybody can afford one. So Christmas is coming up, and you can put it on your Christmas list. I know that for big purchases, I tend to wait for Christmas because my husband always asks, like, what do you want for Christmas? And if we can swing it that year, then we save the big stuff for Christmas. So anyway, I guess I lied, didn't I? I did go over the For Santa and love with red, just to give that just a little bit of dimension. God, you guys, I'm all over the place tonight. I don't know what is up, but anyway, I love you guys so much. If nobody told you today, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, you're worthy, and I love you with all my heart and soul. You guys make all of this possible, and you guys are the reason that I upload week after week. I enjoy talking to you in the comments. I know I've been pretty bad with comments here the last few weeks, but you guys, I'm just so busy. I'm trying to keep it all straight, and I'm not perfect, so it is what it is. I hope you guys understand. I do see you guys commenting. I just don't always have the time to answer you back these last couple weeks, but I'm going to do my best to answer you guys back. Congratulations to the new chip brush winners. I did announce it onto my stories, or actually my community page, but the new winners are Leslie Day, Connie Zimmerman, Kimberly Tillett, and Maxine Miller. So if you guys will shoot me an email with your addresses, for the ones that already shot me an email, I got it. So I will send those out as soon as I have all the addresses. And I love you guys so much. Have a great week. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoy it. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Thank you again to Cricut for sponsoring today's video. Bye guys.